Hey guys, can anybody see me? I haven't got my stuff hooked up. I just wanted to start early. Okay. Hello everybody. Now it's the parking again. I should really give myself more of a cushion. I think I scheduled, I should maybe put like a buffer in there. Sorry guys, I was a little late. So we're gonna start here. Yes, right? Yesterday was really formidable in DC. But we're gonna start here at the docks and then we're gonna migrate. I kind of like this as an orienting area, just to kind of soft warm up a little bit and then hop right into the busy volume over there. I thought it would be less windy, but it's windy again. It said like 1 degree wind, and that's not the case. So I can't really set the sign up when I'm talking to someone. Just do this real quick. Okay, let's like that. Okay, let's get some good distance here too. Bam! Lock and load. I love having a mic now. Remember when I didn't have a mic and I was just sitting there yelling? You know what though? That's all good. All right. And I brought some water with me. Now there's really nobody here right now, so I'll probably be moving soon. Right? Oh, my buddy's in here. Carl! What's going on, sir? How are you? Nice to see you. Setting up mic and such is so confusing to me. Yeah, it's like annoying in the beginning when you don't know how to do it, I guess. And at least with like the particular equipment that I guess I'm using, it took me a little while to get the hang of it. But it's pretty streamlined once you get used to it. It's not that bad. I brought some H2O with me today. My initial plan was to have the sign so where I could put it on this table when I'm talking to someone. But now the wind's gonna blow it down, so I'm gonna have to be holding the sign the whole time. I thought it'd be cool to, once I get engaged in a conversation, be able to just put it on the table and then have the sign there for anyone else that wants to, like, that's interested or wants to hang out. And it'd be seamless. And that's my plan, but the wind does not help. So maybe when I move to the next location, the wind will be better. Oh, cool. We got them both here, Carl and Alexa. Oh my God. I got friends in here. I had my other friend in here yesterday. Insane support system that this vegan has here. But yeah, we're out in a very barren looking wasteland right now. And that is the city docks. And this is where I'll start. So we'll do like 5 minutes here, see if we can get anybody over here. But I don't know, maybe this is a bit selfish on my end. It's nice to have like a little bit of peace to warm up with instead of a damn grenade right in the middle of town. And it's like, oh, you got to quick adjust to everything. I like this because I can warm up my mental equilibrium. Oh, hiya, Tira. How's it going? Awesome. Yeah. Nice to see you. It's funny. I was scouting some different like YouTube channels today, and I'm very interested in non-duality. I don't know if you guys know what non-duality is, but it's basically a very spiritual stance or a spiritual perspective that postures that we're all one and we're not two. Essentially, we're all part of a big collective, and we're all this kind of consciousness and awareness. And there's a few channels that I saw where it just confuses me that we're not kind of vegan by default if we're spiritual, being that it's kind of a tilt to the most optimal thing we can do for the collective. And it's not rocket science to see that. It's obviously the best thing we can do for the collective, sentient animals and sentient animals and humans, even robust plant life. It's like a laser. That would be the reflexively most benevolent, and is the most reflexively benevolent thing that we can do with the voting of our energies. Because just like yesterday with all the interviews that I did in DC, and the day before, and the week before, and the week before, the biggest kind of conflation that people have is that veganism has to do with food, and it has nothing to do with food. It's consequentially part of it, just like animal testing is consequentially part of it. Entertainment is consequentially part of it, but at its crux, it has nothing to do with food. It's just a simple stance against oppression and violence. Oh no, God has given us the right to eat animals. Oh dear. All right, I'm not going to get started with the religion thing today. You guys saw what happened 2 weeks ago when I stoked the fires there. I don't know if anybody did, but I basically had an army of Christians around me. I was about to be stoned, and it's all caught on camera if you want to look up that live from like 2 weeks ago. And then I had some Karen in my face, some mom Karen in my face. And I'll tell you, nothing against her. Honestly, nothing of this is anything personal against anybody. We're just trying to like dissemble the argument, dissemble the unfair argument. That's it. But I'll tell you, some entertaining stuff on that live. What's up, Martin? What's up, Lewis? Vegan Stoner Lady. But yeah, so I mean, if Jesus Christ, long and short of it, if Jesus Christ was here today in 2025, he would definitely be vegan by default. Like, once again, it doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out. Being he was the most compassionate man that ever lived, unless you're posturing he's not the most compassionate man that ever lived. If that's the case, then you might have some logical consistency. But if you're just getting here, welcome. I come out here and I just ask the public 3 questions. And I have some ideas for today, some new things I want to integrate into the dynamics if everything goes well. So hopefully I'll have some combos. We'll give it another few minutes, and then we're going to walk down to the hustling and bustling of the city. So bear with me. You guys are going to walk with me. 100% Vegan Stoner Lady. Thank you as well. PJ, what's going on? Nice to see you. PJ and Atira in the house. If anybody is interested in the kind of the B12 notion I've been talking about in a few of my lives, email me. My email is now on my description, and I'll see if I can send you the PDF. I'm just kind of going case by case and making sure that the person really wants to read the material. But it's not a quick read, just so you guys know, it's not a quick read. Oh yeah, perfect. We got Steven in here to address the Christian concerns. Yeah, that's perfect. The Vegan Heretic has an awesome channel. Everybody go check it out, where he talks about basically about different Christian values and how we should kind of sync up our Christian values with our actions if we're Christians. And he goes deep on his channel. He's got a lot of good interviews. He's got a lot of good content. Definitely check Steven out, the Vegan Heretic, for sure. We'll give it 2 more minutes. Absolutely. What are some good low-income vegan options? I live paycheck to paycheck, and meat is so expensive nowadays. Roberto. Or did I say your name right? Heriberto? Is it Heriberto? Yeah, so many. Like, now that I've tilted to whole food plant-based, I'll be rediscovering those beautiful foods again. Like today I had oats, which are super cheap. You make oats, it's good filler, it's good fiber. I topped it off with peaches, bananas, raisins, and almonds today. beans, chickpeas, lentils, rice, pasta, you know, breads. You can find everything. You can find everything with the vegan version of, from Chinese, American, you name it, Italian. Every ethnicity has a beautiful vegantopia of foods that await you. I just came up with that on the fly. What's going on, guys? How are you? But definitely, just Google. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Why aren't you vegan yet? I am James. What's your name, Ed? Do I know you?
Yeah, you
from the restaurant.
From True Food. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you?
Very good.
Like, we were going to go there, and I was like, I wonder.
Yeah. I do a little kind of peripheral moonlighting, per se. I'm just an animal rights activist about here a few times during the week, and we just have dynamics and kind of healthy conversations and stuff like that. You recognize me. I get recognized so often. It's crazy. I feel like a celebrity. I need to wear that hat. I have it, actually, the hat from the show You, so I can just like be like incog. No, but I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, man, good to see you.
Absolutely.
Sure.
If you want to look at my YouTube channel, check out Vegan Sign Guy. That's my channel name.
That's your
if you want to
channel?
see my stuff.
Awesome.
And it's all in the spirit of love. Keep that in mind.
Awesome. Thank you,
You
James.
guys have a great day. Good eye. Wow. All right, so that guy came across. I see a lot of people from my work every now and then. So he was with his family. Really nice guy. He recognized me. It's so funny. That's why sometimes I feel like a celebrity in this town, because I've lived here my whole life. I work here. Everybody recognizes me. It's like sometimes I feel like, and I love that he, you know, it's awesome to be recognized. You know, but I just don't want to get caught in a convo or stuck talking about, you know, something regarding why we're not here. We're here for about an hour and a half for the animals. We're going to try to keep it narrowed in. But anyway, if you're just getting here, guys, like and subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm out here a few times a week. We just simply ask the public basically why they're not vegan yet, because everybody's walking around with the same vegan values. But when we are paying for systems of meat and cheese and milk and eggs, it's kind of antithetical to our own values. All right, so I'm going to move. Are you guys ready to move with me? We are going to move to a busy location as I crank up my radio voice. All right, follow me. And maybe you guys can tell me what kind of delicious vegan food you had today already, or did anybody have any delicious vegan food yet today? I told you my breakfast, you tell me yours. All right, we're gonna hop right in the middle of a bustling crowd. This will be exciting. It's not too bustling today, it's not too bustling. Temper that statement. But it's more bustling than that tumbleweed area back there. There it is. Yeah, the sign says, why aren't you vegan yet? And we're simply just asking the public just that. And just kind of speaking up for the little victims that don't have a voice. You know, we take everything from them. They're just these little guys, you know? And a lot of them just are born into this. They don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden their time horizon is gone. Or they find themselves at the other end of what's that weapon that the Grim Reaper uses, or that thing the Grim Reaper always has. They find themselves at the other end of that, looking up to emotionless, steely-eyed missile-man eyes, and have their whole sovereignty and purposes just stolen away. One fell swoop. And we don't even remember our meals, you know? I eat delicious vegan food, and I don't even remember what I had last week at this time. Shit. Okay, we're gonna park over here. I just got a million things in my hands. Hi guys. I got some ideas today too. Oh yeah, but I wanted to go back to what I was talking about with the non-duality earlier. Like, I'm in touch with, you know, vaguely, some of these channels that are non-dual, and you know, and non-duality champions this very high echelon perspective of oneness and spirituality. And I just think it's so antithetical when our poster people of these things, and we are not action-oriented for the collective. Non-duality poses that once you're awake, it's like a laser. You do what's best for the collective. You do what's best for the one. And it's like a reflex, because it's, in a certain perspective, a selfish thing, because we are all one. But if you're not vegan and you are espoused a non-dualist, it just doesn't match up, and it's not logically consistent. So that was kind of bothering me today. I follow a few channels, and I really like some of the things they say about how we are all one, things like that. All right, hi guys. Okay, so I'm here. My name is James. I have a sign that says, "Why aren't you vegan yet?" We are out here tasking the public with 3 questions. We're gonna ask everybody if they know what veganism is, if they're against animal abuse, and then why aren't they vegan yet? We're gonna simply tee right into that. That's right, like Atira said, we are all one. We are all one, that includes animals as well. And you could even go as far to say that includes plants as well. But it doesn't take rocket science to know that being vegan is the way to be a steward of all 3 of those said entities. 90% of wheat, corn, and soy, all fed to animals. Majority of all the food we grow, all fed to animals. A cow has an 8-to-1 energy conversion ratio, 8 energy units in, 1 out. That's a very distortioned way of efficiency. So everything points to vegan. Now I'm going to try to get both me and the subject on camera today, because I've been getting better at that. If you guys have seen my last few videos, you'll notice. Okay, so if I get right here, and I want to get someone right here. And then, it looks like the wind is better over here, so I'll put the sign up right here. So bear with me, guys. Yeah, so question for the chat, why aren't you guys vegan yet? I'm gonna outreach the chat and the public. And by the way, thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody joining and being here. Even if you're like, oh my God, it's an annoying vegan. Oh my God, let's see what he's up to. I mean, I'm really here in the spirit of the people. So a lot of people's first reflex when they hear about veganism is, and it's not like a said reflex, like you won't hear people say it out here on the street, but it's like, oh, you're trying to take away my freedom. You're trying to take away, my free choice. And it's funny because that's the opposite of what veganism posits. But because we've been told certain things from generation to generation, 400 generations thick, actually, the core deception of our society is that we need animals to be healthy. And it's not true, it's false. And since said narrative has trickled down from generation to generation to generation, it has literally stolen our sovereignties and our purposes, being that we are taking sovereignties and purposes from others. And that dynamic is boomeranging back to us in the form of being in cubicles, being in jobs we don't like, getting heart disease, diabetes, and cancer from eating said others. Our current political arena, capitalism. This is not the definition, and these are not the definition of freedom. So, okay, so I also brought a book today. I want you guys to all check out this book, fellow vegans and non-vegans. This is called The World Peace Diet. This is the best book I've ever read. And we had the author on the show last week, and we talked about spirituality a little bit. What's going on, big guy? How are you? Want to try a few questions for YouTube Live? All right, have a great day. We had the author on the show, and his name is Dr. Will Tuttle. He's an amazing human being, and he's written this book and a few other books as per recently. We talked about questioning narratives and questioning different official narratives that we've been told since we were kids. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Be on TV. Have a good day, guys. There we go. Meat. Thank you for that amazing contribution. Anything good here? But anyway, this book right here is great for vegans and non-vegans because it kind of has us delve deep into really fundamental questions about other things we've been told besides consuming meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. And they're related. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? All right, have a great day, guys. Let's see if these guys are coming back. We might have 2 on-camera people here. All right, so far no dice, but we'll have a few people. But yeah, check out his book, and also check out the interview I did with him last week. A lot of stuff that even us vegans are being we're buying into, and it's just as per the conditioning, and it's as per material science, like science though. Hi guys. Want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? Hard no? All right, have a great day. Material science is just that, it's material. And anything material can be tinkered. And unfortunately, with the 1% of the 1% controlling everything, they can literally control what you see in the webosphere. And they can control peer-reviewed science. I think one of the slides he showed, hi there, how are you? One of the slides he showed was 97% of all scientists agree with whoever's giving them the most money, which is very true. Hi guys. Want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? Okay. Want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? All right, have a great day, guys. All right. It's a tough conversation, but one of the things I was thinking about it and kind of meditating on it earlier. You know, everyone's going to have their own style of activism. Everyone's going to go out there, have their own style. And I think a disclaimer, we should all have our own style. What's going on, big guy? You want to try a few questions? Test your values a little bit? All right, If you come back, let me know. The approach. You know, I think it's completely futile to critique other activists' approach. You know why? Because there's hardly any activists. But I was meditating on kind of the approach today, and I realized that I want this whole dynamic to be, you know, kind of based in truth. I don't want to have, I want it just to be consistent and very upfront. So for me to have something else on my side that might bait people in would kind of not be basing it in truth. And I understand, of course. Hi guys. I'm gonna try a few questions for YouTube Live. All right, have a great day, guys. If I was to have people come over here and have it not based in truth, I don't know. I just feel like the equilibrium would be off. Hi guys. Try a few questions for YouTube. Why aren't you vegan? Okay, have a great day, guys. And, you know, we've seen a lot of positive response just with having the word vegan here and having why aren't you vegan yet on the sign. I think it's just kind of, you know, you got to feel out your approach. I try to make it positive and inviting. And, you know, also make them think, but still have their net energy positive when they leave. But we definitely want the critical thinking to eclipse all things. And I thought of some cool things to add today towards the end of our dialogues. Not too many people out now, but lunchtime right around the corner. Plus I could move to another area. All right, anything interesting in the chat, guys? Anybody got anything good? Good points, good vegan rebuttals or vegan arguments? I don't know. Thank you, fellow vegan activists, for fielding concerns in the chat and maybe where I can't really see, because there's a big glare here, and I do want to kind of be on stage. I want to be on stage. Anyway, I look like I kind of present the optic of some kind of street evangelist right now. I got this big book and a microphone, and I'm declaring things with a big sign. You know, sometimes little theaters kind of fun to get people involved. But I can't put this damn sign. Let me try this. It's not going to work. It said that there was going to be no wind today, and all of a sudden, a ton of wind. You just can't win in my town. Fellow Annapolitans know, and I think there's some in here right now. Anyway, thanks guys for being here. All my friends who I can't even see because of the glare. But if you'd like to like and subscribe to push this kind of activism out there and get more of it going. What's going on, guys? Try a few questions for YouTube, test your values. All right, have a good day, guys. But yeah, please like, subscribe, so we can blow up this kind of activism, because we want to be popping up in different cities. We want to be popping up and kind of with these little kind of argument accountability hubs where we kind of dissemble and try to deconstruct the argument. We're not against the person, we're against the argument. And that means we are for the person, because the person has adopted said argument and been exacting it for X amount of years, where, you know, we're all born vegan, we're all born with compassion, we're just kind of blinded by societal inundatings. It's really simple. Okay, I can read a little bit. Eat more meat, says somebody. Okay, that's what I came back here for? Unbelievable. No, I'm sure there's some good questions in there. If you care about plants, you should care about animals. There you go. Yeah, if you actually are genuine with your plant rights activism, then you'll be vegan, you know, because you kill 8 times more plants when you're not. So do you want to be a plant murderer, or do you want to go vegan? Full stop. How's it going, sir? You want to be on YouTube Live? Try a few questions? All right, just testing the public's values today. Have a great day. Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? Oh, that's right. Many people don't know that dogs can be vegan. And actually, their healths are better off if they're vegan. Lady walked by saying her dog's vegan. Funny thing. But dogs are actually healthier. Think about it. I mean, everybody's healthier being vegan. I would even posture to say, gonna get some heat for this. Cats can be vegan too. Hi, guys. Try a few questions for YouTube, test your values. All right, have a great day. Come on, guys, I know you want to try. Come on, 3 minutes, just test your values. All right, have a good day, guys. Gotta bait them in a little bit. Gotta throw some bait out there. So, disclaimer, you'll notice I'm a little clickbaity, but once I get someone in conversation, I'm just the nicest guy ever. You know, people that know me in the chat just know I'm the nicest guy ever. I want to have a beautiful conversation with people and try to appeal to their hearts. That's it. What's going on, big guy? So, there will be theater. And that's another reason to like and subscribe. You get some theater out of this guy. You know, you can have fun, you can watch me, you know. If you go through my channel, you'll notice I've interviewed Batman in the past. I've interviewed it was brief, but I interviewed Santa Claus right here. I interviewed Santa Claus. Let me tell you something. Santa was not nice. He was not bringing nice that Christmas. You'll see a very interesting Santa Claus. It was during Christmas last year. It's via a short if you look up the video. But he was doing something for an event, and he happened to intercept my purview, and there was like I don't know. It wasn't the healthiest of interactions. But thanks for being here, guys. I want everybody to know that the whole MO of this kind of exercise is to not attack the person, it's to attack the argument. And, you know, can you blame us? We're going against 99% inertia and resistance, and it's just going to continue 99% inertia and resistance if we don't speak out. You know, we have to speak out. We have to be loud, because the suppression mechanics are the engine that's underlying everything that goes against this is stronger than you can ever imagine. And the channels of which we're exposed to are far and wide, and they will not stop. Hi there. So, little hubs like this, which, will hopefully be sprouting in each town in different areas throughout the next year, 2 years, decade. Hi, guys. Guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values a little bit? You sure? Oh, okay. All right, have a great day, guys. Almost had one. I think I'm gonna move to another area. Actually, we'll steep with that for 5 minutes, see if we can get any activity. I thought there'd be more people out here today, guys. It's the best those Sunday nights when it's just mass, you know. Hi there. Hi, guys. Anybody want to try 3 questions for YouTube Live? All right, let's go vegan, guys. Easiest thing to do in 2025. I have, every time I come back, I love a good steak. Well, you can find the vegan versions of your steak, and nobody has to see the Grim Reaper for your steak. Nobody has to lose their whole time horizon. Nobody has to have their whole sovereignty taken from them. What's going on, guys? How are you? Try a few questions for YouTube. YouTube Live. Up to you. All right. Have a great day. Getting some mean mugs out here for some other people. All right, let's get the cards out so we can have a little presentation here. So anybody that's curious of the 3 questions, they're very simple. It's 1, do you know what veganism is? That's where we start off just explaining that it's not a diet. We explain that it's a stance. And then we ask them if they're ethically against animal abuse. And then we just ask them this question right here, why aren't you vegan yet? And it's a pretty organic line of questioning. Have a good day, guys. But yeah, really easy. We tee it up with some logic. And once again, someone says, I love steak. Can you guys hear the little duckies out here, by the way? I'm against animal abuse, but pro-meat. Well, that's completely, I don't know what to tell you. Can you maybe freeze frame that, save it to your photos, and then look at it with some poise and clarity? Because it's like me saying, there is no wind when there is objectively wind, or the sky is not blue. This is not a shaky parallel. This is an exact parallel to what you're lamenting. But we've all been taught that eating meat is normal, necessary, and nice. And it's the farthest thing from it, guys. It's the systems we pay for, we are blinded to. We have no idea what goes on to these beings with awareness behind the curtain while they're alive and in that window of time where they're being fostered, grown for food. They could be kicked, they could be spit on, they could be sexually exploited, they could be laughed at, they could be wrestled, they could be forced into different situations, even sexually, that they don't want to be forced into. And you're paying for it. And you're saying, I want that to be the change that I see in the world. And that's not your values. Someone says, I can hardly see these things, but wow, there's a lot of you in here right now. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube Live? All right, have a great day, guys. Okay, I think we're gonna move locations very soon. What's going on, buddy? How are you? But thanks, guys, for being here. The reason that there's so many of you in here, and there sure is a lot of you in here right now, is because you're curious. The word vegan is kind of the elephant in every room, and you're curious. And you will never see somebody out here doing this for meat. And you have to really take a step back and realize it's because all of us deep down in our hearts, our own intuition, since when we were babies, know that killing others, killing animals is wrong. What's up, dude? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just testing your values a little bit. That's it. Have a great day. Hi there. How are you? Hi. What's going on, sir?
How are you, pal?
Can I put you on the spot for YouTube Live?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it, though.
Just testing the public's values today. That's it. Have a great day. So, anyway. Yeah, we're going to be out here for probably the next hour or so. And if you're new to the channel, I just come out at least once a week. Yesterday I was in DC. I hit the local college campus about a month ago. We're out in the city at least once a week. I mean, one thing consistent you'll never notice or you'll never see is that there's never a good argument against veganism. It does not exist. And the whole MO of this is to kind of convince people that they are vegan by nature and have them convince themselves. Because in our hearts, we're all vegan. We're just acting antithetically. Good day, guys. Not being vegan is saying your body, my choice. Have a great day, guys. Look at that cutie. Have a good one. Anyway, thanks, guys, for being here. Like and subscribe, share it far and wide. More pop-ups like this will be happening. And that's what it is. Not being vegan is literally saying your body, my choice. Even in the case of the elusive unicorn-like family chickens or whatever the loophole that everyone likes to curate. Even if you have chickens and you're taking their eggs and they live a great life, you're still saying your body, but it's my choice, buddy. So if you're like women's rights or you're feminist or anything along those lines, it's logically consistent and truthful of you to be vegan, especially if you're a feminist. Oh my God, the things that happen to cows. If you saw me yesterday, I framed it out pretty well to the couple I talked to in DC. Hi guys, you want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test out your values?
Sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. Are you okay being on YouTube Live?
Yeah, okay.
All right, my name's James. I'm an animal rights activist. What's your name?
Mason.
Mason, what's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie, okay, cool. So I just asked the public 3 questions, and they're
Okay.
super easy. I just tee up the 3rd question, which seamlessly, I guess, comes along.
Yeah.
Do you know, or what's your definition of veganism?
Let me think. There's a difference between vegan and vegetarian, right?
Totally, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
eating dairy or meat.
Yeah,
Nailed
she
it.
knows. I know.
Yeah, like
okay.
totally. In the food part is totally integral, right? So I like to just, of course, concede. Yes, it's about, or it's not about, but consequentially, there's a food thing going on. But what we like to intercept is that it's more than that, and it's actually not that. It's more a stance against something with our energy. Because when we vote or we pay for systems of meat and cheese and milk and eggs, we're paying for certain systems and voting for certain systems with our energy. My second question is, are you against animal abuse?
Yeah.
Right? Reflexively, right?
yeah.
And I know you can telegraph and kind of see where I'm going here, but it just tees up the obvious 3rd question, which is this question, because your values are already vegan. They're already vegan.
Yeah.
So it becomes like why are we all not vegan when we have values that are strong and respectable, but we're paying and voting for energies
Yeah.
that are the antithesis of being guardians.
Yeah.
And I know that's a tough thing to, I guess, hear, but what do you think about that?
About why I'm not vegan?
Why aren't you vegan?
I don't know. I like.
What's the biggest thing that would stop you?
I don't know. I like steak.
Okay,
and
okay.
It's good.
Yeah. Taste, right?
Yeah.
Taste is a big one. Taste, habit, convenience, culture.
Definitely convenience.
I think
too,
these are the
like,
biggest
yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Very convenient.
I would posture, and I guess I'll start off. Well, I'll first say that if your why is strong enough, you'll find vegan steaks. Trust me.
Yeah.
As a previous junk food vegan, I can, we can eat the exact same taste, texture, profile, nutrition, better nutrition than the animal counterparts if you seek it out. But I would say, is the animal's outlook and their sovereignty more important than taste pleasure?
I guess so. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, your heart would say yes, for
Yeah.
sure. The same heart that would see me kicking a dog and then beat the crap out of me, throw me into the river.
Yeah.
That heart would say yes, right? So I guess the whole reason I'm out here is this beautiful dynamic that we're having that you can never have watching or listening or being involved in mainstream outlets,
Yeah.
because it's hidden from us on purpose, because since 400 generations ago, we've all been told that we need animals for health, and it's complete BS. Do you guys think we need anything nutritionally from an animal? I know there's something. I know
think
there's
protein.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
protein,
okay,
that's what I was
protein,
gonna say,
protein.
yeah.
Gotcha. I was just telling somebody last night, I was talking to them, and that's like the biggest one that I hear. Totally protein, right? But where do the animals get the protein?
I don't don't know.
From the plants. That's how they
Oh, yeah,
get it.
right.
And even something as random as an orange has every single essential amino acid profile.
Right.
And you'll be told the antithesis of that by friends, family, doctors, everybody, because they all are getting exposed to the same information, you know? So our goal out here as activists is just to, you know, in a friendly manner, get people critical thinking again, because, you know, we're at an inflection point where we can be guardians. And when we're going around voting for these systems, it's the antithesis of being a guardian.
Yeah.
So moving forward, do you think it's something you'll think about?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I want to give you guys some cards. Would you
All
be
right.
down for that?
Sure, yeah.
Shit, okay. Sorry, I actually got them out. Here's 2 cards.
All right.
So that's my resources. That's a speech on the other side by a guy named Gary. That speech turned me vegan 12 years ago. I mean, health-wise, don't listen to the BS, because once you leave this conversation, you're going to go back to the 99% inertia and resistance that just gets fed all the information by control narratives. And, you know, a beautiful thing that we have in social media, unbeknownst to control narratives, it's become like a tool of truth where we can actually reach out to people. What are your names? I forgot.
Mason.
You're Mason, and you already told me, but my memory has been like not good recently. Well, I'm Jimmy. Thanks for stopping by. Check out the card. Think about these little animals that have to look up at these, you know, I won't even get into it, but it's a violent end.
I will.
Guys, have a great one.
All right, you too.
Take care.
What's your YouTube?
Vegan Sign Guy, and you'll see it if you put my name in there. Take care, guys. All right, did we capture everything on cam with the 2 in the shot? Do you guys see both of them in the shot? I want to make sure I'm doing this good. Thanks. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good conversation. You know, we have a few, whoa, guys, there's a ton of you in here right now. Holy smokes. Okay, everybody, right now, like and subscribe. How you doing, sir? How are you? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values?
No, I'm good.
Up to you. 3 minutes. That's it.
My best friends are vegan.
That's the way to go. It's the nicest way to test. It's compassion. That's all it is. Yeah. Have a great day, sir. Thank you, PJ. Thank you. Yeah, so going back to my approach, I think it's nice to have the word vegan on the sign and to let people know what they're getting into to a degree. Just because I think it keeps the equilibrium of truth underlying everything. And if I can do it in a certain way and get them feeling good and excited about being on camera and have them even leaving net positive but critical thinking, I think that's the rub, man. At least that's my rub. Okay, that doesn't sound right. That's my secret sauce. There it is again. That doesn't sound right either. That's my tactic. I think I've had this is deja vu. I've said this exact and had this exact circumstance in a previous stream, but we're just here to get people thinking, questioning the things they've been told. How's it going, sir? How are you? Guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? Really simple. Have a great day, guys. Yep. All right, now we got people coming out. We got a lot of people coming out. If you're just getting here, we're asking the public 3 questions. We are asking them, 1, what is veganism? And we're telling them it's not about food. 2, let's go, guys. Let's go vegan 2025, everybody. Easiest thing you can do, compassion. Have a great day, guys. How you doing, sir? Want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test out your values a little bit? Have a great day. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? All right, have a great day, guys. Oh, it's not nice for the little ones, though. I mean, why do people say that? Like it's some kind of badge of honor. We like the meat so much. Yikes. And someone's saying KFC. That's awesome. Yeah, so we're asking people, what is veganism? And we're telling them it's not about food. And then we are asking them if they are for or against animal abuse. And then we are simply asking them, why aren't they vegan yet? And this tees up healthy conversations like the one you just saw with those 2 lovely people, Mason and Sophie. Or Sophia. I think Sophie. You know, we get to talk to amazing human beings out here and actually outreach people. And try to dissemble and deconstruct the argument. That's our whole MO, guys. Now, I know a lot of you people, since I got a lot of you in here, I want to tell you something. That this whole main objective, this whole initiative, there is one objection that you're not saying. Yet you have all the justifications in the chat. How you doing, guy? You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? YouTube Live? All right, have a great day, guys. Oh, I recognize this guy. What's up, sir? What's going on, guys? Want to be on YouTube Live? Quick. Oh, hell yeah. See, the younger ones don't even think about it. That's amazing. Okay, my name's James. What are your names?
Owen.
Owen?
I'm Gavin.
Gavin, that's amazing. Okay, so I asked 3 questions, and this can be quick. The first one is, do you guys know what veganism is?
I do, yeah.
I do.
What would you say it is?
Not eating
Yeah, not eating meat.
Okay.
animals.
Animals, sure. Okay. I like to kind of intercept this right off the bat. I'm about to blow your mind. It has nothing to do with food. Okay, try to throw out everything you've heard about veganism. Just throw it out. Because main kind of messaging and initiatives, they want you to think it's about food, but it's a stance. It's basically a stance against violence and a stance against oppression. Now, consequentially, it has to do with food. Consequentially, it has to do with animal testing. Consequentially, fur, circuses, you name it, right? But it's removing our energy, which is the dollar, from systems of violence that steal others' sovereignty, their purposes, their sentience, and their whole lives. Okay, the second question is, are you guys for or against animal abuse?
So in some cases I'm for it, but also
Okay.
in some cases I'm not.
I'll
Okay.
say
So-
same thing.
This is how I would posture abuse. If I had a dog right here and it was yours and I was kicking it, you would be against that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, same thing. But
Don't
I would
say
say
depend
like,
what dog. Depends what dog. Some
Nah,
guy
nah.
said that the other
nah.
day.
I'm saying like if it's like a dying dog and like
Okay.
if it's like or like pig, if it's
Okay.
like really in misery.
Okay. In like an outlier
There's no way
circumstance.
to
Yeah.
kick it,
But you still, yeah, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't
join
kick
in.
it, but like if you were
Hi
like
guys.
get
Oh,
him
let's
out
go.
of its misery, and then you could eat the bacon.
Okay. That's kind of an outlier hypothetical. I get it. But the crux of it, we can agree on the initial basis, right?
Yeah.
The third question literally is, why aren't you vegan yet? Because if you're against animal abuse, the kind that I framed, then your heart is vegan. Do you guys think we need anything nutritional from an animal?
Yes.
What is it?
Protein.
Can you amplify on that? Like, which essential amino acid can we not get from a plant-based diet?
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know.
You got to precision tune it. You got to precision tune it.
Amino acids are, but
Yeah.
but, like the protein that we get from steak and chicken is something that you can't really get from plants.
It is more consolidated because they are eating it and assimilating it into one vessel, right? And how do they get that protein?
Well, their body makes it.
Well, but what do they get? What material do they get that assimilates and creates their bodily protein? It's the plant material, right? Like they eat plants, so they get said protein and then they assimilate it and it becomes their body. They're not just born with it. They have to be grown and stuff like that. So I would challenge you to look into the nutritional aspect. Don't take my word for it, but I can tell you, you don't need anything from an animal to survive or thrive. You don't need vitamins. You don't need supplements. I've been vegan 12 years. I do not take vitamins or supplements. My daughter's been vegan, same, since birth, and we're fine. The whole idea of this dynamic is to impart sound information to people that have vegan values, but are going around paying for these animals are raped, they're spit on, they get their throats cut. We're voting for this, and we're saying this is the change we want to see in the world. That's not the change you guys want to see in the world, right?
No, but like when you said the animals are getting raped, spit on, and their throats cut.
Not every circumstance, but
that's-
it's happening.
That I mean, in some places yes, but we have friends that do run a slaughterhouse, or not really a slaughterhouse, but they run a cow farm.
Okay.
And they don't do any of that. They humanize them like
Do they live to their natural lifespan?
they do.
So 25 years old?
Not 25, but they lived about like 8 or 9.
So their time horizon is 25 years old. So basically, we're taking their whole time horizon for something we don't even need nutritionally. And when we take a step back and look at it from that purview, there's all kinds of wrong there. It's a distortion. But we've been doing it for 400 generations, and we've always been told it's normal, necessary, and nice. And we're kind of at an inflection point where we have this evolved awareness that's starting to surface that is reaching out to people and kind of hopefully tilting buying dynamics where we can vote for a peaceful world and not a violent world. Because even if they're bunny rabbits and bedspreads, massages, and Kenny G, they get the best life ever. What happens at the end of that life?
Well, they're obviously slaughtered, but
Yeah.
they are slaughtered at points where they're fully grown, and if like for the 25
Yeah, like
years that they're
physically.
alive,
Yeah, physically.
for the 25 years that they're alive, there's nothing that they can really accomplish in that lifetime other than just eating grass.
But who are we to say that? Because we're not them.
well, we obviously like view all their aspects and like what they do on a daily
Yeah.
basis. There's nothing that they can do that can contribute to anything else.
I think societally wise, maybe. But I think intrinsic value, there's a big conversation there because I can't make any judgments on your intrinsic value just like you can on his, you know? The individual themselves is the only one that can do that. And when we make speculations and we just jump to conclusions and don't err on the side of caution and act in reckless abandon and then get used to that reckless abandon, that presents a whole dangerous horizon that awaits us in our families, our kids, and their kids. I would challenge you to look at the being and not the object, because I'm sure your friends are awesome and you love them, and I'm sure they're great people. But we've all been taught this argument and adopted this argument. It's nothing against us. It's against the deceptors and the evil that has told us that we need animals to be healthy and strong, and we don't need anything like that. Would you guys, having this conversation, would you think you would ponder this, or would you keep seeing animals as objects?
I would ponder it in some ways, but I would still see like cows, chickens, because I own chickens.
Okay.
We eat their eggs, but we don't eat them.
Yeah.
Because we're not like a whole chicken farm.
Yeah.
And we eat their eggs, so they're not actually fertilized, so they can't physically be a chick.
Yeah, and I see, and I understand where your heart is there, and I can see you. I can see your heart and your intent there. And what I was telling the chat not too long ago is, it's funny you should bring that up because we were describing that exact scenario, and somebody asked, "What about that? Is it a vegan loophole?" Sure, it's nicer than in so many ways, but it goes back to that intrinsic value, and only the entity, the being able to have their purview, right? Because we're saying it's your body, but it's my choice, and I'm going to extrapolate what I want and use what I want, and I don't care what you say, because we don't speak their language, and they can't concede in a way that's consensual. But moving forward, guys, just think, until we're not vegan, we just keep voting for violence. I guess that's what I'll leave you with. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Do you believe in God?
I'm not religious, no,
Okay.
but I do believe in a God consciousness, a all-in-one awareness, a kind of non-dual oneness with everybody, just like me and you were connected. The collective, as far as even animals, we're all connected.
So you're theist.
I wouldn't say atheist.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, theist. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
theist. Okay, like agnostic, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you think about it, God put animals on Earth, and God put cows, chickens, and all these things with meat in them on Earth for us to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying if God put these things on Earth for us to actually eat and put in our bodies, you're saying that we should go against what God says?
I would also say this, like me, you, all three of us are made of meat too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he created these vessels. I mean, people have eaten meat through history, human meat through history, and it's actually the most bioavailable meat you can get. I would challenge that by saying that the material book, which is what we're going off of, we're going off material, has been translated through generation through generation through generation, with different purviews looking on it, different interests looking on it. You're not having the all ethical, holy people that are the ones that are stewarding and purviewing the scriptures. It's not happening. I would challenge historical context with as far as what God has lamented and directed in the Bible. And I would say, and I would even say that he created sentient beings with awareness, eyes to see, noses to smell, families to have, all these things. And I would say that's a sick God if that God wants to see his creation just destroyed on this unfathomable level as far as pain and suffering, just for the sake of something arbitrary that we don't even need for nutrition.
So I have one more question. So you're saying, so the Pope is also obviously like a very religious person.
Yeah.
So you're saying by him eating meat and eating meat that from God comes from animals, you're saying that he's denying God?
Yes, and he's doing it through his actions. Because, what do they say? Actions speak louder than words, right? It's a very simple concept. And the thing is, religion, there's a movie called Christspiracy. You gotta watch it. And this will appeal to your compassionate side. The guy who made it is a Christian. His name is Cameron Waters, and he made this movie dissembling and deconstructing all kinds of anti-vegan arguments that hail from the Bible. Christspiracy, like conspiracy, but Christspiracy. I definitely would task you to try to watch that. It's free online. Just go to the website. It's a watch that will definitely have you critical thinking. You might feel your emotions going up and down, ebbing and flowing, but this is healthy when it comes to change. These ebbs and flows are a natural kind of happening when it comes to change. But like seeing you guys, I mean, I know you're vegan at heart, you know, and you can find the vegan versions of. No, you can find, if you want. Yeah, it's funny, I've seen so many true food people today, man. You can find the vegan versions of. And if your why is strong enough, then you will find them. And you can be, you know, it's like the quote from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. It's that simple. The Bible has been twisted, construed, and architected to fit narratives. And there's a beautiful message underneath. It's called the golden rule. And the golden rule is do unto others, right? Do you think we're doing unto others when we're eating animals?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Okay, but you can at least concede that in some ways, no.
Yeah, in some ways, yes.
Some ways.
All right, well, moving forward, can you guys check out my resources? In Christspiracy, my YouTube channel is called Vegan Sign Guy, and I just go out in the street. I was in DC yesterday. I was on a college campus a few weeks ago. I go out, I talk to people, we have healthy conversations, and it's just friendly because it's not against the person, it's against the argument, and we're trying to deconstruct that argument. So I love you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Right.
What was your name again?
Owen.
Owen? My memory again, guys.
Gavin.
Gavin. Okay,
Nice to meet you.
I remember the other guys, Mason and Sophie. All right.
Oh, we just saw that.
You're kidding, you know them? Oh, they
I
stopped
do.
by too. Okay, cool. Super sweet. Well, you guys have a great day.
You too.
All right, take care. David. Are you? Oh, what's up?
How you doing?
Okay, so you guys want to try this little social experiment?
Sure.
Okay, it's just 3 questions, right? Are you okay being on my YouTube live?
No problem.
All right, you're on TV.
All right, awesome.
So the first question is, do you know what veganism is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
That's a good question. I would say kind of not eating animal products, and I think it's also like using them to an extent. So, like I know the vegan leather and like stuff like that.
Damn, that's a very good definition. The best I think I've gotten all day.
Oh, thank you.
Because when we take a look at it, it's not about food. It's literally a stance against something. Food becomes consequential. Animal testing becomes consequential. Whatever. Fur coats, circuses, you name it, become consequential. But it's not about food. It's a stance against violence. That's all it is. The second question is, sorry.
Are you veganism?
Am I vegan? I'm the poster child of veganism. No. I'm just a vegan, an active vegan who just goes out and talks to people. The second question is, are you against animal abuse or are you for animal abuse?
I'm definitely against animal abuse.
I love the reflexive answer.
Yes, I'm against animal abuse as
Yeah.
well. But I guess my question for you would be, in a scenario where like animals are getting treated like or there's a ethical means to kind of killing the animal.
There it
where
is.
does
You
that go?
gotta see that you just put those 2 words in a sentence. And obviously your heart will yearn for an uptick.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're saying ethical and kill in the same sentence. It's like
Yeah,
saying
sure.
the sky's not blue, there is no wind right now, and we're not living in Annapolis. We try to operate from the animal outlook.
Okay.
So I'll stay there. But the next question tees up and is this question. Because your hearts are vegan, you have vegan hearts, but the actions are not vegan because we're voting with our energy, which is the dollar, for other energies, which are either benevolent or malevolent. And it's not about doing your best. I mean, it's not about being perfect. It's just about doing your best. And the bare minimum we ask people to do is to just give them bodily autonomy. It's just like, give that guy bodily autonomy. Or, are you familiar with bodily autonomy?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Kind of getting what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So in a sense of because a lot of medicine is obviously tested on animals,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's so many pros to having medicine for society and for the community. What are your stances on that? Because there are clear benefits of.
It's definitely a kind of a peripheral conversation and definitely correlated. But the fact that we're doing all that, we basically button the first button on the shirt wrong when herding culture came to Genesis, and we decided we can use animals for everything. Then we kept buttoning the shirt.
Yeah.
And it just never righted itself. So the reason we do that is because we've continued seeing animals as objects and not beings with awareness. And we've gotten to this point to where we're massive resourcing all these animals to fix different societal medicinal problems and cure cancer and stuff like that. I think the studies that are out there, peer-reviewed studies, need to be questioned as well that say these things are good for people, because all peer-reviewed studies are also funded. When anything is material, all bets are off, and everything in the webosphere and that you read and research is all material. So I think the big thing with that is, not full stop it, but we need to scale out of it. I mean, of course, I want to full stop it. If we could full stop it. But eventually, once the genesis happens, and people like me, you, and you, we all just give the animals bodily autonomy and do the bare minimum and go vegan, that's where it starts. That's where we can start solving these issues.
Would you say, sorry to cut you off, but would
Yeah,
you
no.
say to an extent it's almost like it's in nature to kind of, ingest other animals and kind of go down like the trophic level? Like, would you not say that is kind of just biological nature?
First, I'll say 99% of farming is factory right now. So there's nothing natural going on as far as the systems we're paying for at all, right? I mean, we can always, all right, man, I'm sorry. Next time, Dave. Take care. We can always kind of, use that, and you hear that in messaging like, oh, this is natural, it's manly, it's whatever. It's like I'm going out and hunting and eating a cow. What we're really doing is paying for a little youngling, and they're children most of the time, to go to see a big, just sloppy, farmer who could care less about their life, and see the end of his blade come down and take everything away from that helpless little youngling. So we're being big bullies, and we're not being guardians. This is essentially what we're doing with our votes. That what you're speaking of is something that, it's part of our arc of history. When we were hunters and gatherers, and we had to go out and be savages. But for God effing sakes, we're in Annapolis. There's a Chipotle right there. We have a Rise Up coffee. We can get vegan versions from the ice cream factory, and we can vote for the systems we want to see, and we can actually eat healthy food.
From an
What about, like,
economic
protein?
Or you good? Yeah.
Great in that sense, like,
You're the third one to bring a protein in, and I love that, and thank you for that question. So I'm going to give you guys some cards before I go that have information on protein, but I would, I guess, toss back a counter question. Which essential amino acid do you think we cannot get from a vegan diet?
Creatine.
amino
Is
acid.
that an amino acid? I'm not sure. I don't think you can get creatine
I don't
from a
think
vegan
so.
diet.
Creatine, no, but the 9 essential amino acids, creatine, I don't think is
Yeah,
one
okay,
of
I
them.
was just kind of
You can get all of them from a vegan diet,
I guess my
even an orange. Yeah.
my follow-up to him, my good friend here, would be for somebody who's looking for like the economic considerations, because from what I've seen with people that I know who have tried to gone vegan, is that it can be pretty economically challenging to pay for all of it.
Yeah.
So for somebody, let's say an athlete like Julian here,
Yeah.
who wants to who wants
Cool.
to build
What do you
muscle,
play?
Golf.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
who wants to build
Precision
muscle,
sport.
who wants to like get stronger and bigger, it can be pretty economically challenging to pay for.
Yeah, and I would say the reason because of that is one word, and that word is subsidies. And it's also a 99% inertia factor. So subsidies, Animal Ag is given $40 billion a year to underwrite cheap meat. So they can turn a $20 Big Mac into a $3 Big Mac. And that's what spearheads its kind of being ubiquitous. Everywhere you look, it's ubiquitous. You have cheap meat, you have cheap eggs, you have cheap dairy, everything's cheap. It's not going to change until we change buying dynamics, and it starts with us, to just kind of taking and absorbing that with great power comes great responsibility notion and spearheading the change. Like, it's never going to happen if we're just waiting for it to happen, you know what I mean? And you can watch Game Changers. Have you guys seen Game Changers on Netflix?
No.
Okay, everybody watch Game Changers on Netflix. You'll learn about like protein and essential amino acids. You'll see guys that are bodybuilders that are, there's no golfers, but there's a tennis guy, Novak. Yeah, that guy. He's in it. He's interviewed and everything. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the movie, and he talks about protein. I mean, Arnold's a proponent of the vegan diet.
I guess my concluding question for you would be, I think I agree with everything you're saying. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's realistic, I guess, within the framework of our economy and, globally?
Yeah.
Is it realistic to say that, by like just a couple people trying to make a change will actually change the whole economic,
Great question.
food all
Great
over the
question.
world?
Hey,
So
really good question.
I will say, that's a great question. I will say that every injustice that has ever happened has ended. Every injustice that has ever happened has ended. Now, to what material degree, that's up for debate. But everybody has kind of the right to vote nowadays as far as our human sentient beings, and we've gotten so far with those things. This injustice is going to end. And there was always questions in the beginning, even when people had slaves, that questioned the validity of anti-slave arguments and probably asked the same question. But when it comes down to it and it's fully realized that the stark implications are now there and we don't need anything nutritionally from an animal, people's hearts in compassion is going to transcend and tilt buying dynamics. It's just going to happen, and we're going to evolve our consciousness. This is the arc of history, and you can't go against the arc of history.
Do you
Yeah.
think that a human life is just as important as like a duck's life, for example?
Great question. No, I don't. I value humans above animals.
So like even past like proteins and stuff like that, like as I was talking about earlier with like the testing and stuff like that, like what's your approach on that? Because there's some like pretty significant benefits to having animals to test things on.
Yeah, and I get the testing thing, but I guess I would kind of, like if you were tracking, I'm sure, like I would go back to the, nothing's going to change as far as animal testing until we start voting differently. And even if things are perceptually helping, they could be helping more if we're not using animals. Dr. Neil Barnard from PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, is spearheading all kinds of initiatives for animal-free testing and having massive success as far as the efficacy and actual net outcomes of said studies and experiments. So that whole idea needs to be questioned as far as using animals. Plus, they're not our same, we should be testing on ourselves, on people's own volition and consent, not against someone else's consent like we would do with animals. I value humans above animals. You don't have to value animals above humans to be vegan. You just have to at least yield them their bodily autonomy and be a guardian along those lines.
Well, don't you think that it's somewhat difficult to try and support veganism, like even like yourself, like without like, because do you use medicine?
No.
Okay, so like, isn't it kind of difficult though, like for like someone who's trying to go vegan to just
Yeah.
like stop using medicine?
Yeah, but that's another thing I like to backpedal to. It's about doing your best. There are plenty of vegans that have to use medicine. Doing your best is at least taking the animal out of the equation and yielding it its own bodily autonomy. This is the bare minimum, guys, that we can at least yield to these other sentient creatures. Yeah, you might have to take medicine. Yeah, you might have clothes that's been in whatever way, shape, or form. You might have a phone, that has animal-derived products in it. But the least we can do is give them their bodily autonomy and not say, your body, my choice 3 times a day. Would you think that's fair?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right? That makes sense, right? It's just we've had through generation, 400 generations, 10,000 years of herding culture has just inundated us, trickled down every single generation, getting these notions that we collectively go by that are not for our best interest or the interest of the animals. It's for their money. And that siphoning of profits from that 1% of the 1% that are laughing when someone comes in the chat and says, plants have feelings, or they'll say, I just ate a big steak. They're laughing when people argue from these kind of sentiments, because they're just getting more money off the ignorance. The 1% benefit from all sales of meat, cheese, milk, eggs, seafood, and honey, and they don't want to see anybody question those directives. Nobody. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I think I'm all good.
I'm all right, thank you.
Cool,
Thank you for
cool.
your time.
I appreciate you guys. Think about going vegan. Just know, before you go vegan, we're sending these animals to slaughter, and they don't need to go there.
Do you have a what's your YouTube channel?
So, Vegan Sign Guy. Did I give you guys cards?
You did not.
Okay, Vegan Sign Guy. You can check out my resources.
Thank you.
Check out the
Appreciate
speech on the back. Just think with your heart. You guys are compassionate at heart. That's all it is.
Yes, sir.
Simple. Have a great one.
All right, what are the health benefits of vegan?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're not consuming TMAO, heterocyclic amines, plaque-promoting cholesterol, IGF-1, hormones, growth factors. IGF-1, if you don't know, is called insulin growth factor 1, and it's in all kind of dairy products, it's in meat products, and it's known as a precursor to cancer. Copious amounts of saturated fat, which clog arteries and create myocardial infarctions.
Right.
Like, it's nothing but a net plus.
Right.
But like, we're out here kind of talking from the animal outlook, not necessarily the health outlook.
I understand that part.
Yeah.
What about the protein? I'm talking about the I get all that. I agree with that. I'm talking about the other side.
Oh, like
the health benefits. A lot of the stuff that I've seen that's vegan. There's a lot of stuff that's they're kind of fake vegan. There's a lot of,
So you don't have to eat those stuff.
Highly processed.
Yeah.
Really hard to find really good vegan food.
Yeah. I think the best way to do it is just find the mushrooms, find the tempeh, find the seitan, find the seasoned, sauced, and textured kind of meat, and it's more whole food, plant-based, right? And you can find those. But what we I'm just kind of backpedaling to kind of by reflex out here in this dynamic is the animal outlook and the why. If the why is strong enough, we'll find those things. You know, have you seen Game Changers on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen it. Okay. I'm vegan. So
Oh,
I'm just
hell
asking-
yeah. Let's
you know,
go.
I'm
Let's
just
go.
asking-
Okay, yeah.
I'm testing your.
Oh, right on, right on. Okay.
Because everybody comes back.
Did I
and says,
pass?
well, you can't possibly get enough protein. Right? So,
Right on, yeah.
I'm doing Ironman again this year.
Oh
I've
my,
done it
you're
as a vegan.
inspiring me
So
right now. Hey, can
I'm
I
just
give you
saying.
a card? My YouTube channel.
Sure.
It would be amazing support if you could follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to do the Baltimore 26. It's my first marathon this year. So wish me luck. You're ahead of me on those lines. Thank you, sir.
See ya.
Have a great day. Oh, that was so cool. That was so cool. Hi guys, how's it going? Okay, if you're just getting here, guys, I guess I haven't been able to say it in a while, but please like and subscribe. We're just asking the public 3 quick questions. The first one is, what is veganism? Bye, guys. The second one is, are you against animal abuse? And the third one is, why aren't you vegan yet? Check it out. I have a supporter. Hey, buddy. He's shoring me up. All right, let's see what kind of time horizon we're working with here. I can't see the time. Does this say 70 minutes? All right, I got time. I loaded for 2 hours today. Wow, we just had rapid fire 4 conversations in a row. I even had my friend waiting for a while, but I guess he had to take off. Hi, guys. But if you're just getting here, you know, in 2025, we can all do it. We can all be kind of stewards and guardians. Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values, that's it. All right, have a great day. Hi, guys. But I found that, you know, getting that excitement going, getting people excited and getting the energy levels up, getting people feeling good, having them enter the space and realize quick that it's not about anything attacking them. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube Live? All right, just testing values today. That's the MO. We want to get people critically thinking, and I don't want them to have that kind of unsaid thought that I'm trying to take away their freedom, eclipse all things. I guess that's my way that I'm doing it now. So I think it works pretty good. What do you guys think? All right, favorite vegan food, go. Oh, you want to try? Okay, you're on YouTube Live. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Say hi.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so I just asked the public 3 quick questions. They're very simple.
Okay.
My name's James. I'm an animal rights activist. What are your names?
I'm Kate.
Kate? Oh, awesome. Okay, Kate and Kira. Alliterative, I can remember that. Unless it's a C Kate. Or is it a K Kate?
C.
C, okay, it's not alliterative. So the first question is, do you know, or what is your definition of veganism?
Like not eating like animal products.
Totally,
No
totally.
animal products. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's like a big integral part of it, right?
Yeah.
I like to kind of intercept right off the bat and let you know, and I've had a few conversations out here today, just let you know it's not about food. It really has nothing to do with food. Food becomes consequential at a certain point, but it's not about food. It's more so a stance against violence. That's it.
Okay.
The second question is, are you guys for, and I know the answer already, are you for or against animal abuse?
I'm against animal abuse.
Right?
Yeah.
Reflexively, okay.
Yeah.
The third question is this question, because you have vegan values, you are vegan at heart, but when we are voting for systems of meat and cheese and milk and eggs, these are inherently violent, maleficent systems.
Yeah.
We are blocked from it from our eyes, right? Because it all happens behind the doors and behind the walls of factory farms and through the slaughterhouse, structures. But when we're voting for these said systems, we're literally voting for the antithesis of compassion and stewardship and guardianship. So I like to piggyback a fourth one, boom, real quick. Do you guys think we need anything nutritionally from an animal?
I think we do need the protein aspects and
Protein, that's been the big one today. Protein is the biggest one today. Okay, protein. What about you?
Probably protein.
Protein, right? Okay, gotcha. So, about to blow your mind, or maybe I'm not, but where do the animals get protein from?
Organs.
Yeah, they're like
Eventually.
Are they made of like the protein?
Well, they're born, right? And they're
Yeah.
tiny, they get grown,
Yeah.
they get fed. What are they fed?
Grass.
And 90% of wheat, corn, and soy
Yeah.
goes to animal feed, right? So they eat plants to get protein. So basically, all we have to do is eat the plants. Instead of the middleman, we're putting into this picture where we're collaterally absorbing cholesterol and fats and hormones and IGF and stuff that we're not supposed to be putting into our bodies, but we've been doing for 400 generations because we've been told that's the nice and normal thing to do. So upon hearing this kind of loaded rhetoric, what are your initial thoughts?
Personally for me, I think I'm gonna continue eating animals because that's like my main source of protein.
Okay.
I'm like not like eating beans or anything. Like I know that's like a protein source.
Yeah. What's
but
your favorite non-vegan food?
non-vegan food, like steak.
Steak. Okay, heard. So I can tell you, if you seek them out, and this is a previous junk food vegan you're talking to here. I mean, my wife would make fun of me, the ridiculous amounts of vegan whatever that I would eat. You can find vegan versions of that no matter what you hear from everybody else, because everyone talks negative about it because nobody's vegan, they are amazing. You can find them if your why is strong enough. You know, if the why is strong enough, you'll find these things. And then you're not putting cholesterol and saturated fat and TMAO. And
I think you would definitely have to be like in maybe like a richer area, like a richer perspective to like eat like more vegan foods. I mean, like meats and like all those like stuff are like very cheap.
Yeah.
And so it's just like easy for people to access, especially in like poor, like underdeveloped areas.
Yeah, like I was telling the chat, they had a lot of questions. Most people are non-vegan in the chat, and there's got a few hundred watching right now. The main reason that is the food is so cheap. Do you know why?
No.
One word. That's part of it. That's connected. Subsidies. So subsidies is when the government gives out basically free money so different farmers and slaughterhouse work can underwrite the meat very cheaply. They can make it cheap. They get all this money so they can use that, and instead of selling a Big Mac for $18, they can sell the Big Mac for $3 because they've been given all this money by the government. And plant agriculture gets basically no subsidies. Animal agriculture gets $40 billion a year. So once we start voting different with our hearts, because you guys are both vegan, you're vegan at heart, you are. We'll be able to change. Buying dynamics and steward better worlds, because we're the future. We want to be compassionate and be examples for our kids, right?
I think they should like offer subsidies for both like animal and
Are you guys getting ready to go? Can you at least take some cards and promise me to look into this stuff?
Yeah.
I got resources. Of course, they're free. My YouTube channel, Vegan Sign Guy's on there. You know, we've talked to people every day out here. I was in DC yesterday. I was on college campus a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to spread outreach and get you critically thinking.
Yeah,
but I want you.
Anne Arundel County Community College.
Oh, hell yeah, that's where I was. On that across the bridge. I was on that big bridge right across from it. Had a bunch of conversations. The biggest thing I want you to realize is that it's nothing against the person. Our conversations, it's the argument. We're trying to dissemble and deconstruct the argument because it's not fair to us, all three of us,
But
that we have
subsidies like to both like animal and like
they should.
plants?
I mean, if they really care about humans, they should do it only for plants, because there's nothing good that comes from the violence that's exacted for no nutritional means, none. You know,
Thank you for this
stuff to think about. Absolutely. Have a great day, guys. Take care. Welcome back, everybody. All right, what kind of time am I working with? 77 minutes. Okay, I got time. We're gonna hang out. Wow, there's a lot of you guys in here, huh? Okay, so since there's so many of you in here, first I want to tell you one thing. The reason you're in here right now is because you're very curious. The word vegan has been the elephant in the room for far too long, and it will foster curiosity. That's why you're in here, because you're wondering what the hell this guy's talking about. Because deep down in your hearts, you all know that you're vegan. You know that killing animals is wrong. You know that killing others is wrong. And animals are others. They qualify. So animals have what we call sentience, which is an emerging property of a nervous system and a brain. Plants do not have that. They have very robust peripheral defense systems. They are beautiful in their own right. And if you are concerned with plants and you want to be a better guardian for the plants, you will also be vegan. You're making an argument for veganism as per the nature of how farming works. It's a big guy. Anyway, so I brought this book out. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe. I brought this book. This book is called The World Peace Diet by my friend, Dr. Will Tuttle. And we had him on the channel last week talking about questioning narratives. And I think that's a great video for all vegans to watch as well. So definitely, if you're vegan, I think that's a great one for you to watch as well. In fact, if you're vegan, please pick up this book so you can have an arsenal of different information that you can compassionately imbue to people that will help them realize that they just forgot. They're still vegan, they just forgot. Best book I've ever read, and just incredible author. But thanks for being here, guys. I didn't get a chance to ask what is your favorite vegan ethnic food? I'm gonna tell you mine first. Currently Chinese. I like to do Asian fusion. How about you guys? Uh-oh, here we go. B12 deficiency, no joke. Don't get me started. I promise you I won't get started. I'm not gonna get started on that today, but I will say it's fallacious. Hi guys, how's it going? You guys wanna try a few questions for YouTube? All right, have a good day. So yeah, I don't take vitamins or supplements. You're not gonna find health in a pill or a bottle. The whole B12 deficiency thing is, you've been lied to, unfortunately. B12 was created in a lab in 1948. The company that created it was Merck & Company, and they did it all for one reason, for bottom line purposes. How's it going, sir? How are you? To make money. And it wasn't even a B vitamin until Merck decided to leverage their power and put it in the B vitamin family by assimilating all kinds of scientists and peers and you name it, bought them all out to put said vitamin in the B12 family and make it signal as something to be fear-mongered, to fear-monger with, and to be leveraged. Oof, big book coming out soon on that. Can't wait. And it's not a quick read, but I think the author said June 11th. It's going to be called The Enigma of B12, Nature's Only Mistake. How's it going, sir? How are you? Anyway, if you are just getting here, I'm asking 3 quick questions to the public. I don't know, I think we've had about 5 interviews today. It's been going very well. Handing out cards, appealing to people's compassionate sides, which they all have, and just talking to some really nice, interesting, cool people that have the open heart and the bravery to stop by. There's people coming over here. Hi guys, how's it going? You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? All right, have a great day. So thanks guys for being here. Somebody says, I love meat. Wow. Every time I come back, I see an I love meat. How's it going, guys? Try a few questions, test your values a little bit. All right, have a great day, guys. All right, at least we got some more volume out here now. A lot of volume. We still got the ducks shoring us up with support. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? All right, have a great day, guys. Anyway, this is the book that I was talking about. Every vegan should get a hold of this book. Yeah, just like, we all need to be keen on what kind of content to show meat eaters. By the way, I am going to be upping my arsenal of equipment. I am going to be getting a tablet soon so I can show people Dominion on the street, and I can just ask them if they'd watch 10 seconds of it, or maybe 15, maybe 30 seconds, however long they want to watch, whenever they tap out. So we can show what they're paying for. Really simple. How's it going, guys? Choose vegan, choose compassion, not violence. Have a good one, guys. Let's go vegan in 2025, guys. How's it going? Oh. Anyway, we got some duckies out here today. All right, I need some water. Anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Even if you're vehemently against veganism, I appreciate your engagement. Because that means you have kind of a curiosity about it, or else you wouldn't be here, right? It's an awful busy chat there. Navia, nice to see you. Vegan ice cream, nice in the summer. Oh, heck yeah. You know, there's a lot of vegan ice cream that you can get downtown Annapolis, too. How's it going, sir? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? All right, have a great day. Hi, guys. Looks like everyone's coming out for lunch. Check my battery power. All right, we got some battery power left. Hi, Dandelion, how's it going? Pia, nice to see you. Vegan team, Vegan Avengers in the house. We've had quite a lot of interviews today. Let's get some more. Let's get some more. It's turning into a nice hot day here. And I gotta make sure that I stand far away. Hi guys, wanna try a few questions, put you on the spot? Oh, you are, let's go, right? Have a good day. Hi guys. Guy said he's already vegan, that's awesome. Now we just need more vegan activists. I think. Hi guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? All right. Basically, 1% of the population is vegan, right? And 1% of the vegan population, less than 1% are activists. So we really need more activists. And the one thing we have going for us is that you'll never, ever, ever see a meat eater or a non-vegan coming out here and doing this for the non-vegan initiative. Because everybody knows deep down that it's wrong. We all know in our hearts and our intuition that it's wrong. What's going on, guys? We'll try a few questions for YouTube, just test your values. All right, have a great day. But yeah, so our intuition, you know, when you're born vegan, man. There's no argument against that. There's no argument against that. You're born with a compassionate heart. And we all forget because we get wounded by these narratives that just transcend through the generations. And they destroy our compassion. They take away our sovereignty, our purposes by getting us on board and adopting this kind of bully mentality that we then exact on everybody. And then all of a sudden it becomes so streamlined that we don't even realize there's anything wrong. And that is the core deception of our society. The core deception is that we need animals to be healthy and that it's normal, necessary, and nice. And a lot of these people that vegan activists will talk to, good people will change. The vegans that are in the chat, they weren't always vegan. They'll tell you. I wasn't always vegan. I've been vegan for 12 years. But before that, I was a good person. I'm a good person now. But once you become aware of how your dollar affects the collective, and animals are the collective, then at that point you are culpable moving forward. And you got accountability on you now. It's time to step up and be a guardian. Just say that. All right, let's see if we can get some people here. All right. Can't really read the comments right now, guys. I apologize because of the glare, but I'm sure my vegan activist friends in the chat are fielding concerns and questions and stuff. There's a lot of justifications. What's going on, guys? Guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values a little bit? All right. Have a good day, guys. Hi, guys. Have a great day, guys. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Let's go vegan for the animals, 2025. No violence. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so you guys in here that, you know, other vegans are talking to, just notice that please keep in mind it's nothing personal. It's against your argument. It's not against you. It's against your argument. Because the unsaid biggest objection that none of you are saying, because it's just that deeply recessed, is that we are taking your freedom from you. Hi guys, and And trust me, narratives have planned that out too. They want you to think that. But they're putting you in cages. They're putting you, in the hospital with heart disease, diabetes, and cancers. They're having you exact violence and taking on sentient beings and taking their sovereignty and their purposes. Just the act of doing that yields non-freedom. You're not free if you're oppressing others. You're not free. And the boomerang effect comes back and takes precedence when you see that we're all being controlled by political motives, arenas, and capitalism and initiatives. Hi, guys. Guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube? Put you on the spot? Just testing values. That's it. Have a great day, guys. So I hope that made sense. There you go. Eat more chicken. Can always count on a really intelligent thing when I come back to see the chat. You guys can find the vegan versions of, guys. Hi there, how are you? You don't have to bully a helpless youngling and then eat them to enjoy your taste pleasure. Hi, guys. Guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube? Anybody? YouTube Live. Gonna be on TV. Good day, guys. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hi. Great day, guys. Hi, guys. Great day, everybody. Enjoy the weather. You guys didn't see that coming, did you? No, but I'm out here for a select period of time to speak up for the animals. So we want to make every nanobite of time. We want to make it count. Every nanobite of time count. Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? We're not here to beat around the bush, have small talk. This is kind of a structured way of which we can proliferate awareness. And why waste time doing it? The animals get an hour and a half as long as I'm out here for. So of course I'm going to be clickbaity. I'm going to throw out things like, let's test your values. Of course I'm going to say things that might ruffle feathers. It's all in the spirit of love. How's it going, dude? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Put you on the spot? All right, sir. Have a great day. Hi, guys. How's it going? Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Have a good day, guys. There you go. That's a bellwether of the responses we're getting out here as the walkers by. Let's see. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Even the people vehemently opposed to the notion that we shouldn't hurt others. Please like and subscribe, I'll be popping up more often. I was in DC yesterday. I was on the local college campus a few weeks back. And the more you like and subscribe, the more you let me proliferate this kind of activism and start teaching others to do the same thing as far as popping up in towns. What's going on, dude? How are you? Oh, say again? Oh, you did? Oh, that's awesome. It must be like a local proxy thing or something. That's crazy. Yeah, just out here, probably another 15 minutes, just holding interviews. Heard. Have a great day. Take care. I'm Jimmy. Guys. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. We're going to try to hopefully eventually, have different platforms for others to learn how to do this kind of outreach and realize it's actually fun and not too uncomfortable at all. Once you get into it. The only reason it's uncomfortable is because it's going against the 99% inertia and nobody's vegan. So that's the only reason, but you got to start somewhere. Someone's got to do it, guys. We got to start somewhere. And it's for the sake of the collective. It's, we've all been lied to. Hi, guys. I'm going to try a few questions for YouTube. 3 questions. Just test your values a little bit. It's up to you.
My brother's a vegan.
Oh, nice.
My sister-in-law's a vegan.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are next. That's what it sounds like.
We're on our way.
Right on. It's so easy to do in 2025. And you get healthier, and the animals are...
I agree with you.
Have a great day. Anyway, so I brought this book for everybody to check out. This is definitely good for vegans, too. It's called The World Peace Diet, and it's how herding culture is the genesis of all violence. So if you're against war overseas, if you're against racism, sexism, all that stuff. Non-veganism in herding culture is the root that we have to deconstruct before moving forward in these initiatives, because the violence will just continue. Because in our head, we're taught from a very young age that might is right, competition is everything. Animals are objects, not sentient beings either. And if you look into the eyes of your own pet, you'll see that there's somebody behind those eyes. It's no different than the other animals that are farmed. It doesn't take rocket science. Hey, buddy, we got a duck out here. Hi, guys. How you doing, guys? I'd show you the duck, but then I'd have to like pan to everybody behind me, and then it will look like I'm filming them. That's not cool. But we got a little duck out here shoring us up with support. All right, so the questions are, what is veganism? What's your definition of it? And we like to intercept that it has nothing to do with food. The second question is, are you against animal abuse? And then the third question is this question, why aren't you vegan yet? And that sparks the healthy dialogue, which you've seen in the 5-6 conversations we've had today. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values a little bit. Simple. Have a great day, guys. But we've had 5 or 6 conversations today. Everyone's gotten some resources. My channel name is Vegan Sign Guy. Like, subscribe, and watch this type of activism keep popping up. How's it going, everybody? How are you? A lot of people here today. It's like some buses. Hi, guys. How's it going, guys? Let's go vegan for the animals, guys. Hi, guys. How's it going, guys? Vegan 2025, guys. No more your body, my choice. Anyway, get this, give you a little space there. Move this little camera's right next to these lovely people. I'll probably actually do, let's see what kind of time we got here, guys. I can't even see the time, 96? Okay, we'll go for a little while longer. Let's try to at least get a few more conversations. I'm thinking I might move, but I'm thinking that I might just stay here now. Hi, guys. Why aren't you vegan 2025, guys? It's time to look at that. Anyway, how are people going to know if they're not outreached? How's anybody going to know anything if they're not kind of shown it through a more sound means that's not deceptive like mainstream media? Anyway, anybody have any good vegan food for lunch today? Hey, Haas, how's it doing? How's it going? Nice to see you. Hi, guys. It's now nice out here. Last time, I think I was here and you were here, Haas. It was like wintertime and I was freezing my ass off. Now I got a short sleeve shirt on, ready for a summer of outreach, man. Hi, guys. How's it going? Let's go vegan 2025. You can be on TV if you want. 3 questions. But it's all on the guest's own volition. Nobody has to talk, but little accountability is nice, having the camera. And I want people to know what they're getting into, you know? I don't want it to be like a bait and switch, I guess. And every activist's way of doing things is just as good as the other activists because it's simply mud on the wall. I cannot stand it when, I'm going to give you full disclosure, I cannot stand being critiqued. I'll be honest. I will take certain stuff and I'll definitely adopt certain stuff, but it's just a paralysis by analysis type notion. Like, it's not doing anything for anybody. The more we're out there talking, the better. The more mud on the wall, the better. The more net outreach is exacted, the better. Instead of this whole, getting granule with everything, and a lot of times I feel like ego gets involved, and it's just about outreach. It's about putting that word palpably and uncomfortably in the room. Hi, guys, how's it going? What a cutie. and doing that on an optimal net basis. Hi guys, how's it going? Oh, we got wildlife. You want to try? You don't have to be on camera. You don't have to be on camera. I just asked 3 questions, very simple, just to get you thinking. That's it. The first one is, what's veganism to you, or what do you think veganism is? You can if you want. You can be on camera if you want.
No. Like you don't just eat like animals, like anything that comes from an animal.
Totally. That's totally integral, totally a consequential part of it. But what we like to intercept is that food has nothing to do with it. So kind of try to take everything you've heard about veganism.
Oh yeah, and then about like animal testing.
You're kind of you're on the right track for sure. So animal testing becomes consequential, circuses and entertainment become consequential, but veganism has nothing to do with food. All it is a stance against violence that we do with our energy 3 times a day. So when we're at the cash register and we're giving $1 to the guy at the cash register, we're making a vote. And that vote is either to a system of violence and oppression, or it's a vote to a system of benevolence. My second question is, are you for or against animal abuse? Against, reflexively against it, right? Yeah. You don't even have to think about that. So the third question is this one, because you have vegan values already, and all of us do. We're all born with vegan values, but we just forget. Because generation after generation after generation after generation, we're told eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs is normal, necessary, and nice. Taste, convenience, habit, culture eclipse all things. So we have to remember, and you're so young, you have a whole horizon ahead of you, that we are vegan at heart, but we're not aligned with our values if we are voting for systems of violence. Now I know that's a loaded rhetoric to hear. What do you think about that?
That's new information.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here, because you'll never see this beautiful dynamic happening like on Netflix or, Amazon or mainstream media channels, because it's all bought out and it's all owned. But we can be able to deliver truth along these lines and have people critically think where they otherwise wouldn't. What's your name, by the way? Oh, that's beautiful. Alejandra. My daughter's name is Alex, and she's been vegan since birth. I've been vegan 12 years. You don't need vitamins. You don't need supplements. You need none of that. Do you think you need anything nutritionally from an animal?
I grew up thinking that way.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't vegan for 30 years. I was the guy ordering the biggest steak on the menu. And also, give me your best glass of wine while you're at it to the waiter.
I tried being vegan for like 2 months, but then I quit.
Okay. Well, I guess I would ask you to kind of like this guy right here. You see him? I know it's just a little duck, right? But we can agree that looking at that little duck, there's an awareness behind those eyes, right? Oh, yeah. Like if you have a dog or a pet, there's an awareness behind those eyes. Like plants don't have that. Plants are biological automatrons, right? You take an apple grows back. But that little guy, looking at him, there's something behind those eyes. And that same something is behind the eyes of these chickens, these cows, these pigs. And when we vote for meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, we're stealing everything from them. What do you think about that?
I feel kind of guilty because I just came straight out of Chipotle.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I want you to understand, this whole endeavor, this whole dynamic, this is against the argument. Yeah. We are all in this together as a collective. I'm interconnected with you, and you. So we're trying to take apart an argument that we have been lied to with for 400 generations. So it's a team effort for sure. So I'm just here just like you. I wasn't vegan for 30 years. Are you kidding me? I was the biggest meat eater you've ever seen. But moving forward, do you think you'll think about this?
I actually will.
Oh, that's beautiful. Can I give you guys cards? And you guys were listening at least. Would you like to take cards? Yeah. Oh, you guys are amazing. Okay, so my YouTube channel, it's called Vegan Sign Guy. Pretty simple, right? Because I hold a sign, I'm vegan, and I just kind of shout in the streets. No, just kidding. I don't really shout in the streets. But you'll see tons of conversations that I have with amazing people like you, where we just throw down the gauntlet and we kind of plant the seeds of saying no to those kind of control narratives that are trying to control us. Because you can find the vegan version of anything you want, and it tastes the same if your why is strong enough. But what was your name again? Alejandra? Josh? Ariana, thanks for having the bravery to listen. That's all I can say. Check out the resources. All right, guys, have a beautiful vegan day, hopefully. All right, guys, I'm gonna get ready to wrap up. If you're just getting here, like and subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. I'll be out here possibly again tomorrow. I will keep you posted on that basis. I mean, we've been out here having beautiful conversations with people for the last hour and a half. I think we've got people critically thinking, and we're doing it in a nice way because there's no reason not to do it in a nice way. Anyway, be vegan, be a guardian, not a bully. Start thinking about these lies that have been told to you, since you were born. And I guess the last word I'll say is remember. All right, well, you guys have a great, beautiful rest of your day. Thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll see you in the next stream.